Right, well, good morning. I'm in the mood to shoot the breeze. I'm having my morning coffee, and I'm in a good mood. Sort of feel like yakking a little bit, so that's what I'm going to do. Um, I'm toying with the idea in my head. This girl, right? This girl is completely changing how I feel about pretty much everything. I am just head over heels over this chick. She's perfect, which is weird. And of course, like, that's what you always think, isn't it, when you first meet someone, is that they're perfect. So maybe perfect isn't the right word. Um, she's custom, is what she is. She's. It's like somebody took a list of demands into the girl making factory. You know. Like, I went over there with my specifications, my blueprint, and I said, okay, these are the things that I like. I like short girls, I like blonde girls, I like girls who are completely over the top in terms of being compassionate. I like polite girls. Um, I like girls who are a little bit crazy. I like arty types. And they said, right, okay, we can just whip that up for you. It's gonna come at some point in your life, right? It's just gonna pop up randomly. We do a surprise delivery policy here. And it's really like, that's what's happened. She's just appeared, and it's like, oh, you're literally everything I've ever wanted in a woman. Like, not even. I'm not even talking in terms of personality. Like, physically as well. It's like she was built for me. It's thoroughly bizarre. Um, this isn't. I can't stress this enough. This isn't like some sort of thing where I happen to be in love with this girl and retroactively I'm changing the way I feel about women and what it is I think I want. This isn't a retroactive editing. It's just fact. I've been in love with other girls before, but I've always liked blonde girls. I like brunettes as well, admittedly. I like redheads as well. Basically, the only ones that I don't really care too much for are black-haired girls. And dye jobs. I don't like dye jobs. I like the natural colour to come through, whatever it may be. Dye jobs are horrible. Um, Lost my train of thought now. But yeah, she's unbelievable, and I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to be a pig about it, because I am a thirsty dude. I'm a thirsty lad, and it's been a while since I've had any real romantic feelings towards a girl. I mean, I've dicked around with them, but they haven't meant anything to me for a while. And this one does, this one means a lot to me. And what's more is that she's just so like... I can be myself with her in a way that I haven't been able to be myself with anyone since 2010, 2009, maybe. I spent the last 5 or 6 years just trying to shield myself from everything else. I literally thought that this aspect of my personality was dead. I thought I'd killed it, I thought it was gone. And she's just appeared and given it back to me, this sort of naive optimism. This obsessiveness over women that I completely removed. I thought I'd just surgically had it, what's a different word for removed? It's like I'd conducted an autopsy on myself and just removed all my emotions and stuff. And I'd become like this sort of surly, angry fucker. Which, admittedly, I can do that. I've always been able to do that. But everything, that was like what I was, that was my main thing, was that I was a surly, paranoid, angry dude. And now I'm, not really surly anymore. Angry in very small bursts. And I would be furious with everything if she left. I would be furious with myself most of all. So the anger is still there. But at the moment it's healthy, rather than being an all-consuming fire. And of course, you know when you've got a good thing going like this and you can't quite believe it, and suddenly you just kind of want to tell everybody else's business. You want to sort of start bossing people around and guiding them, and I'm bad for that at the best of times. But now that Christine's about, and I'm talking to her, it's like I'm learning so much. I feel like I'm learning so much about women. I really do. You know, because whenever you're in this situation, you can't help but learn things from them. And of course, women aren't all alike, but in the same way that there are things that are universally liked by men, there are things that go pretty far, you know, things that safe bets that you can apply to most girls, you know, such as simple things like talking politely, which is so simple. It's so readily self-apparent, and yet a lot of the time we don't do it. You know, we don't understand that they really don't like being the laddish thing, you know, the blokey thing where we call each other cunts all day, tell each other what fuckheads we are, because it's funny, right? It's funny. You can't do that with chicks, and it's so basic, innit? It's so... But you forget sometimes, or at least I do. You forget, oh wait, I'm not talking to a dude here, I'm talking to a girl, and I guess it's partly to do with, maybe it's sort of a covert manifestation of the whole gender parity thing, where it's like, oh, boys and girls, we're just the same, you know, just the same. Look, she plays football now. Maybe it's sort of a... Or maybe it's an English thing. Probably it's an English thing, actually, because all the English girls, for the most part, I don't like them. That's not to say that there aren't lovely ones. There are. I work with a couple. Got a new job, by the way, and it's pretty wicked. I do like 5 hours a night in a kitchen with half a dozen chicks. It's pretty sweet. Just me. There's one other dude, so... But that's kind of good, because you wouldn't want to be the only dude. But there's one other one, and he's like totally not a threat. Totally not a threat at all to my, like... well, not alpha male status. But, you know how it is when you feel like you're ever so slightly better than the other guy. Yeah, that's always lovely, isn't it? Because there's always that invisible hierarchy. So yeah, there's this other dude, and friendly enough. And then there's just 5 other chicks, and it's pretty cracking. I like working with girls, I do. I wouldn't want to do it in like a human resources capacity, I don't think. I could see that being a bit trite, trivial, repressive, sort of like dancing on eggshells all day long. But because we're actually doing things, you know, rather than just sending out communication emails and answering phones, because we're actually like cooking and stuff and cleaning and all that, it's kind of cool. But yeah, to get back to what I was saying, you know, I think I've got a good thing going with this girl, and I think I'm learning things, and I suppose I am. And I've got this compulsion inside me where it's like, right, I know what I'm doing now. I feel confident in myself. I know what I'm doing with this girl. I know how to treat her. I think I know how to keep her happy. I think I know what I need to do. And this is novel information for me because for the first 20 years of my life I was fumbling around fucking blind, you know? Just completely blind. It's like, I don't know what you want. I don't know how to be what you want. I don't know what's expected of me. I don't understand the social mores. And now that I've got this information, or at least I've deluded myself into thinking that I'm doing a good job with her, I want to pass it on to other people. I want to pass it on to sort of other dudes. Like Dr. Phil, right? I want to get into your space and sort of tell you how to love. Which is completely, I've got no business doing it, and yet I really want to. I really, really want to help you guys. Yeah, and I'm not talking to the dudes who are older than me. I'm talking to the dudes that are like in high school, because there are a few of you. I'm talking to the guys who are sort of between the age of 15 and 21, maybe, or 20. When you're at your most alone and you're at your most bitter and you don't understand and you feel like the world's just fucking you on a daily basis. I know, I've been there. I'm coming out of it. It does seem like it does end. You think it never will, but eventually it does. Later than you'd like, of course, and by the time you get through it, you're convinced that you're fucked. You just think you're broken and damaged. But it's remarkably, it seems that, a well-meaning lass can just pull you straight out of that. The sort of, it's really unfair and demeaning, actually. How you can be so deep down in a hole and you can spend years on your own trying to claw your way out of it. Every month you're just trying to get another foothold on something, and you think you can see like a glimpse of light coming from somewhere, and you're trying to get towards it, but it's taking so long, and you're not really getting anywhere. And then some girl can come along and in the space of like a week throw you down a rope and pull you out, and you just feel like an idiot. You feel so stupid. You feel useless. It's like you've just completely transformed me. What was I doing with my time? What was I doing wrong? I just couldn't get my head straight or something. We've got this thing, or at least I've got this thing, and I know at least some of you do, this self-defeating thing, where somebody said, who was it? Somebody, might have been Woes. It's always Woes. It's always the wisdom of millennial Woes. Men need victories every day. Constant victories, or their self-esteem just goes through the floor. And once you get into that cycle of not having those victories, it's very difficult to get out. Because you lose faith in yourself, you stop believing. You do exactly what Journey said you shouldn't do. And once you're in that vicious circle, all you can do is just swimming against the current, and you tell yourself how fucking useless you are, and you get angry at yourself, you berate yourself. Why am I not doing the thing? Because you've got a thing, right? You've got a thing that you're meant to be doing, that you want to do. Why am I in my case it's writing or music. Why am I not doing the writing? Why don't I want to? Oh, what's the point? It will never get read anyway. I'm not intelligent enough. I don't understand the craft. But I want to do it, and I've put all my coins down the well and all the eggs into this one basket, so I must do it. But I'm not doing it, and on it goes, round and round and round and round. Why am I so shit at music? Why do I not make an effort? Why have I not learned theory? Well, the reason you've not learned theory is because you don't actually want to learn theory. It's really boring, and I don't know, you're just adverse to authority. You think it's you don't want to think in systems. That's just a particular tidbit, particular to me. But yeah, you've always got to think. Maybe your thing is, why am I not painting, or why am I not making YouTube videos, right? I know a few of you are probably thinking that, like, why am I not making good YouTube videos? Why am I not making more YouTube videos? Why am I not making more of an effort? But you just hate yourself. You hate yourself and you don't have any faith in yourself and you don't believe you can go anywhere. And then some girl can just skip into your life and say, hey, you're pretty cool. You're pretty awesome. You know, I believe in you. You can do it. And like that, the switch is flicked and suddenly you're doing it. The thing. Because there's a reason to, right? There's a reason there. You've got a girl to impress and that just makes all the difference in the world. All the difference. I'm trying to get in on Mr. Howard Crane's Eclectic Vibrations gig. Shot him an email last night. So I may be writing articles for his website, unpaid, because obviously there's no money. There's no money to be made, obviously. But that's not why I'm doing it, I just want the practice. I just want the practice, because hey, you know, writing is sort of my dream. It sounds so goofy to say, but it is what I've invested myself in. And I do have at least some modicum of competency, so I may as well use it, right? I'm queued up at present to be writing a mix of album reviews, which I'm probably going to bash out at least one of those a week and possibly two, depending on what's the right sort of word count. If it's just 500 words, I'll probably bash out a couple of those a week, and he'll be posting those on something called the Daily Llama, which is a webzine. Yeah, a webzine. You don't see those very often anymore. Yeah, I guess they're just called online. They're just websites now, aren't they? But they used to be called webzines. And in addition to that, because obviously that's, for most people, that will be of absolutely no interest. Nobody wants to read like 500 words about why, oh, I don't know, The Empyrean by John Frusciante is such a great record. Nobody's going to be like, oh, Copy's just bashed out something about zoos carboniferous. Yeah, I'm going to drop everything and go read that. But it'll bulk out the website, and it would be good, good for sort of learning how to efficiently use language. Not that I really need to learn that. I'm pretty good when it comes to brevity. But you know, I enjoy writing. It would be fun. But in addition to that, to sweeten the deal for you, going to be doing some articles on conspiracy theories. Yeah, Mr. Tinfoil. That's what I am. I believe in all that stuff. Everything from MK Ultra through to chemtrails. I even entertain the Archon stuff. The reptiles, right? I think, obviously, that, personally, for me, that's just allegorical. It's a metaphor. That's what I take that for. The Archon thing. It's, you know how, like, The Guardian once said, they reviewed David Icke's thing about the reptilians, and they were like, oh, it's a Swiftian satire of the Jews. It's anti-Semitic or something. It's referring to the Jews. I sort of take it in that sort of sense, the Archon thing. You know, when somebody says Archon, I just think, oh, they're talking about the reptilian brain, as opposed to the mammalian brain. But yeah, I buy into all that stuff, the chemtrails, the BPA. I mean, the BPA is undisputed. Indisputable, even. And I'll keep my ear to the ground, and once a week I'll bash out maybe 1,200 words. Nice sort of chunky, hefty article for you to peruse at your leisure. and it'll be in a gonzo sort of style because that's how I like to write. It's not going to be dry. If nothing else, it will be entertaining. Can't guarantee that it will be super well researched, but it will be entertaining to read. So, you'll be in good hands. You know, I guarantee you, I solemnly swear, cross my heart, hope to die, promise, that anything I write for Eclectic Vibrations, it'll be a damn sight better than most every article you could get from a commercial outlet. Better than anything you could read on BuzzFeed or Cracked or in the Times Online. Just for pure entertainment value. Promise you that much. Don't know how I'm going to promote it. I mean, obviously I want my subscribers to look at it at least. Most of you won't, but if I can get like half a dozen, well, a dozen of you to sort of check in once a week, that would be great. You know, and I think I can do that. I think there's at least a dozen of you who'd be willing to sort of set aside 10 minutes to read what I've written. Also, I'd like to get back in front of the camera, and the gaming videos are done. There will be no more, except maybe once in a while I might sit down with something like Project Cars and basically do what I'm doing right now, which is I'll be playing the game, you'll get the visuals, I'll put some ambient music on in the background and talk, and we'll just shoot the breeze, and I'll get some stuff off my chest and update you as to what's going on. As if anybody particularly cares, but I like doing that, so, you know, it's not really about... It's just about talking. Just talking to myself, basically. It's good fun. Let's not pretend we don't enjoy it. But yeah, I'd like to get back in front of the camera. So I'll be doing some... Basically what I'm doing, if you remember my videos like Beyond Nostalgia, which is probably the best one I've ever done. If you remember that one, if you remember the Bitter Racist video, more of those, because that's what you like. Okay, I was very stubborn about not giving you what you wanted, but I've come around. You know, I want to move into more serious subjects. I want to basically grow the fuck up, instead of extending my adolescence as I have been for the last 3-4 years. So I'm going to be wading in to the sort of cultural stew, the ratatouille of sociological and political whatever the fuck, and I'm going to be poking at various bits of meat and celery or whatever else you have in a stew. Potato, I guess. What the fuck was that? Okay, yeah, so sort of a more speech making, more oratory, blah-de-blah, where I wave my hands around and sort of scream at you as dark electronic drum and bass pulses at you from the background. From the back of the room, the sounds of God knows what, shrieking car metal and barks and all that shit. By the way, listen to the new 10 Point Tricks Never. Or rather, 10 Tricks Point Never. I always get that wrong. Listen to Garden of Delete. I am going to upload... It's leaked. It's available on the Pirate Bay. And it's a really rewarding listen. Really just very... If you're into music in sort of... I won't say an academic sense. But if you're into it, if you like to expand your boundaries, if you like to go a little bit outside of what's considered normal, then you'll find it an extraordinary and an entertaining listen. I'm going to upload a track called Animals, which is my favourite. It's a bit more conventional, but the treated vocals are just sublime. really, he's just all this. He's like he's like a chef. He just chops sound. He's all about chopping up sound and sort of just really haphazardly almost, but in a very controlled way, very haphazardly, like reformulating the structure of a song or of a sample. Honestly, the person who kind of springs to mind is DJ Shadow. He's like an updated DJ Shadow. But anyway, I'll upload that tune. I'll probably get a copyright strike for it because the album's not even been released yet. But I really want you to hear this because it's blowing my mind. Anyway, we're 26 minutes in, so this has gone longer than I would have liked it to. Wish you all the best, and hopefully by this time, by like, I don't know, mid-November, I'll have got my arse in gear. I'll be writing stuff on EV, which I'll be signposting you to, and I'll be back in front of the camera with my, doing my old stick of political screeds and just generally being a weird bastard. So, take care, and thanks for sticking with me.